Donald Trump tells his team, this is fascinating. This is in the Rolling Stone magazine. In fact, the headline, Trump tells team he needs to be president again to save himself from criminal probes. Do you think there's any possibility at this point? I'm really torn. I mean, I remember back in 2016 thinking, you know, Hillary Clinton's a fairly weak Democratic candidate. She's had years and years and years of the Republicans just tearing her down. And a lot of her husband's policies that, you know, were popular back in the 90s when we really believed that, you know, shipping our factories to Asia and Mexico might be a good thing because all these cool white-collar jobs were coming with the internet and the whole information age. And you know, maybe it was okay to give tax cuts to billionaires. Maybe they really would, you know, revive America. You know, a lot of us, I shouldn't say us because I was not in that crowd. I was always opposed to those policies, always. But nonetheless, you know, a lot of people, a lot of good Democrats thought, yeah, let's give it a try. But by, you know, 2020 or 2016, rather, you know, we had figured out that Clinton's policies, his embrace of neoliberalism, he did a lot of good things. You know, Bill Clinton deserves some considerable credit for being a reasonable president. But his specifically neoliberal policies really hurt America and specifically hurt the middle class. And his mass incarceration policies hurt people of color quite badly. And so, you know, fast forward 20 years later, and his wife is running for president, and it's going to be a big lift. But I was thinking in 2016, you know, she couldn't have a better opponent. Donald Trump is the wackadoodle of wackadoodles. There's, you know, he's got to be easy to beat. Well, I don't think anybody expected that Facebook and Cambridge Analytica and the Russian and Vladimir Putin would organize themselves together, essentially, to put Donald Trump in the White House. You know, with the enthusiastic complicity of the American media. You had Les Moonves from CBS News, you know, telling his investors, you know, Donald Trump may be terrible for America, but he sure is making money for CBS. Go for it, Donald, or words to that effect. You know, we didn't think he was actually going to pull it off, but he did. He ended up in the White House. So I'm kind of torn between saying, yeah, Donald Trump, Republican nominee, yes, bring it on, let's do it again, and thinking, oh my God, this could be the end of the Republic. Because there is no doubt in my mind, and I'm guessing there's probably no doubt in your mind, that if Donald Trump became president again, it would be the end of the Republic. He would do a Mussolini, he would do a Hitler, he would do a Pinochet, he would do a Marcos. I mean, that would be it. He would do an Erdogan. He would do an Orban or a Duda, you know, the president of Poland. He would end the Republic. He would turn us into a full-blown authoritarian right-wing oligarchy. Not that we're not three-quarters of the way there already, but he'd finish the job. But that said, his support is slipping. I mean, only about half of Republicans now think that Trump should run. Now, that doesn't tell you how many of them would run, you know, vote for him if he was running, particularly if he was running against a black woman, a.k.a. Kamala Harris. But, you know, I think he may be a lot weaker candidate than, for example, Ron DeSantis. But, you know, these things are impossible to know in advance, as we learned in 2016. But nonetheless, Trump is now actively, aggressively, and seriously talking about running for president. Apparently not because he wants to save the world or not because he wants to lead the country and make America, you know, great again or better. And really we need, by the way, that slogan, Make America Great Again, that was Reagan's 1984 campaign slogan, Make America Great Again. Trump just stole that from Reagan. So we really need to call it Make America Great Again Trump. Right? Because this is the Trump version of Make America Great Again. So instead of MAGA, M-A-G-A, it should be M-A-G-A-T, Make America Great Again Trump. Maggot. So anyhow, Donald Trump is now saying that to his political advisors. In fact, this is one of his quotes. Quote: he has said, "When you're president of the United States, it's tough for politically motivated prosecutors to get to you." And another advisor said, quote, "He says when, not if, he is president again, a new Republican administration will put a stop to the Justice Department investigation that he views as the Biden administration working to hit him with criminal charges or even put him and his people in prison." Well, Steve Bannon's trial started this morning. They did jury selection. In fact, they're probably done with it by now. Jury selection in federal trials is typically a fairly quick process. And this is a federal case. Bannon is looking at 2 years in prison for 2 counts of defying Congress. They're misdemeanors, but you still go to jail for a year. And Bannon's, his fill-in hosts this morning on his show were like, well, he doesn't have much of a defense, so it looks like he's going to, it's like, really? So I put this question out. Do you want Donald Trump to run for president again? Do you think that would be a good thing for the Democratic Party? Or better stated, a bad thing for the GOP? I'm increasingly inclined to think that it would be a bad thing for the GOP, because Donald Trump really shows the face of how corrupt, how soulless, how misogynistic and racist, how openly, what's the word for being a grifter, the adjective, how openly corrupt the Republican Party is, how in the bag for the billionaires they are. I don't know. I'm torn on this thing, but I don't have any control over it anyway. I don't, there's only a small number of Republicans who listen to this program, and I keep encouraging them to call in. When Republicans call in, you literally go to the front of the line. I don't think there's any other program in America that does that. But, by and large, they just don't want to stick their heads up. They're afraid. I get it. But, if there's any Republicans out there listening, you'll probably have to keep trying to get in because the lines are all occupied right now. But keep trying. Persist. Do you want Donald Trump running? I think it again, like I said, I thought it was a gift to Democrats in 2016. It turned out I was wrong. And like I said, none of us realized that Facebook and, Zuckerberg and his private dinners with Trump and the Russians and Cambridge Analytica were going to fix the election for him. But will they be able to do it again? I'm skeptical. Okay, that's point one. And point two are the billionaires buying the midterm elections, the 2022 elections. This is a breathtaking story.